We've been asked if we can make one of these. It's part of a paper bag making machine. I'm not entirely sure how the whole thing works. This holds a flat piece of spring steel, but yeah, they needed one like this, only longer. And clearly this is a casting, so there's no way we can do a one-off casting. So I suggested, well, we could just make something out of a piece of 3" by 1" flat mild steel bar. And they said, yeah, that should be okay. Now I took that to mean that we could leave it as a 3" by 1" section. But actually no, they needed it thinner, this end. This had to be cut down so that it's tapered. And then they looked at it afterwards and said, and actually it would be better if it was cut away on the sides as well. So we have now got a mission on our hands to machine out a piece of 3" by 1" flat bar to look a bit more like this thing. So here we've got our piece of 3" by 1" flat bar bolted up on the bed of the mill, and we don't really have a big enough and beefy enough mill to do this job. You can see how this is hanging off the end here. So we're going to have to do this, machine it halfway along the length and then move it along and do the other half. And this machine is really old and knackered and worn out. If we had to make this accurately, straight and to size, we'd have no chance. But seeing as all we're doing is removing metal basically and creating clearance on the finished piece, we might be okay. But yeah, we'll get the cutter in here and see how we get on. Well, that's just taking 1/8 of an inch off in both directions, sideways and downwards. Try and double that. Man, that has pulled in. Wow. Just locked the slide. That's actually coping with that cut, but it's a bit deeper than I intended, so That's actually comfortable for this machine, so I'm going to stick with that. 1/4 inch that way and 1/4 inch down, and then we'll do it in 1/4 inch squares until we've got a piece cut out here. This will take a while. And that's about the limit of our travel. So first pass. Oh, what have we got? Another 7 to go. And that's only for half the length. Okay. Slow and steady, I guess. No power feed on this machine either, so I'll make him store. I think I made a mistake there. I think I've wound it across too far. Kind of nice, but we're getting brown chips now. That's looking pretty good. Trying to take a finishing cut here. Just climb milling 10-15 thou. Yeah, maybe not even that much. I was going to put a bigger cutter in to finish this off across here, but I think this is not looking too bad, and it's fine for what the part is. We can just rub it over with some emery cloth or something if needs be. Oh my god, that has kind of bent. Flipping it. Wow. Well, it'll bend even more when we do the other side, won't it? Oh, bugger. It's probably bent sideways too. That's about it. That's about where it needs to be. Right, this thing is seriously distorting. I should have thought about this. And no doubt, as well as bowing, that the middle is lifting up, so this is bending like that. It's probably bending sideways too. So I've probably not got the same amount off here as I have at this end. Ho hum. Maybe too much. Slowly getting there. Just started the second side. Thought we'd have another look at the length of this thing. Just hanging off the end. I had to open the cupboard here to do the first side. I'm getting away without doing that on this one because I've done this fiddly bit around the end here first and then brought the whole thing further along. So it's not sticking out quite so far up the end of the table, but yeah, it's still a bit of a long old piece. Stretching the capacity of this old machine. But we're getting there. Oh my god, look at the bow on this. Well, that's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I've just released all the clamps on this. I'm thinking, oh, that's not bent too much. The cutter is actually holding it down.
I can actually see how big that is. Oh shit.
Bloody hell! What?
I could see how big that was with the cutter holding it down going.
Yeah, but how that's gone now.
It was gone like that. It was going like that over the edge with the cutter holding it down.
Oh, wow.